Okay, welcome back to the Memery hole.
Sans our third member.
Yeah, he's at a conference. I'm not going to say which one, 'cause don't. He doesn't want to be doxxed. He's very paranoid like that.
It involves pee, blood, and probably semen samples.
But yeah, this might be a little less content heavy this week. He seems to know a lot more about these subjects and can talk at length about them, whereas we just like saying funny shit. And we're probably going to get banned this week because he is very much our filter, so fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Yeah, this is espresso time.
Okay, so those sweaty decisions, those difficult decisions. Do I wear my mask to signal my virtue, or do I remove my mask to show that I'm vacationed?
In the end, they just kept it on, didn't they?
They just kept it on.
Just kept it on. Motherfuckers.
They've just made it, it's now, yeah, the Japanese government keeps, like, trying to slowly introduce us to going back to normal, because they're like, first they were like, oh, you can take your mask off outside, but you have to be distanced. And then a week later they're like, now you can take your mask off and you don't have to be distanced, but don't talk to each other while you've got your mask off. It's like they're just doing it piecemeal.
Haven't they heard about monkeypox yet? They need to really like catch up.
Are people gonna have to wear gloves and shit? Everyone's just been walking around with fucking latex gloves.
It sounds like it's a gay thing in the end, though. Like, I don't know who's shagging people with warty asses, but apparently a lot of people are. But if you're not doing that, I think you should be okay. It's kind of what it's looking like at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, do you remember those pictures last year from the Gaza, the Iron Dome?
Oh, was that last year?
Yeah, so Hamas like started firing a load of rockets, and the Iron Dome like kicked up into action. It's just like the crazy fireworks show.
They tried to like just fire more. It was just a case of like just overloading the system with just more and more and more, right? That was the only way they could sort of like bugger it up.
Yeah.
That looks insane though.
Yeah, I've seen all the videos.
And then AOC was talking about how it made her cry that they had it and the US was giving them funding for more of it. It's like, what, you'd rather those missiles rain down on all the schools? Like, what the fuck? Like, people were like crying in Congress because it was getting more funding.
At some point, I think they should, be able to fund this kind of stuff themselves.
True, yeah, true. I think when we hit the 100-year mark.
Yeah, you've had 100 years to become independent. That's 3 times more than the average American. The purpose of Fox News is to make America ungovernable. Why the hell are we allowing it to succeed in that mission? Impotence signalling is much funnier than virtue signalling. What the fuck? I love Fox News now. I just love how Michael Malice has like been able to like just allow you to recognise, just reinterpret what people are saying and just being like, yeah, this person's not somebody to be afraid of, because look at the kind of shit they say openly.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of the internet. It's all there, isn't it? Like you can find people seem to enjoy having no privacy these days somehow. Jordan Banks' heartbroken dad has revealed his selfless little boy will save the lives of 3 children as he was an organ donor. That's dark, isn't it?
Yeah, boy 9 who died in lightning strike will save 3 lives by being an organ donor.
Is he selfless? He's already dead. If he was alive, he would be selfless.
Well, I guess he made the decision while he was alive to donate his organs.
I think now you're opted in and you have to opt out.
Yeah.
By default.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're harvesting you. They used to come to our schools and like get you to sign up when you were like 12, as if like you knew exactly what you were doing then.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it doesn't matter. But then what if you're giving your organ to somebody? What if you're giving your organ to like the next Hitler? And you're the reason that the next Hitler survives. Would you go back and donate your left lung to Hitler?
Yeah. That'd be a good short story, that.
England's chief medical officer has warned that the Indian variant will, over time, come to dominate the COOF cases in the UK. Boris Johnson has also warned that the strain could make it more difficult to move into the last stage of easing lockdown in June. Did that happen in the end? I guess it did dominate.
Didn't it get renamed to... What was it? I get
Delta, wasn't it?
I forget. Yeah, it was Delta, yeah. The Ganges Delta.
The Ganges variant.
The Ganges variant. Yeah, it did. Then Omicron came along and did the dirty on that as well, as all the variants are meant to do, right? That's kind of what the evolutionary trail normally goes. Who the hell are those two? Is that Priti Patel and
her husband?
He looks like he's he's sitting on a secret, doesn't he? He looks well chuffed. Yeah, his Indian variant's coming over to dominate him.
Do you reckon she gets the leather on and just fucking strap on and treats him like an immigrant in the channel? Just absolutely tears his arse open.
Yeah, just in a dinghy in the garden.
That stuff's so silly, man. Like, people are getting so angry that we protect our fucking borders. Imagine someone just wandering into your garden. What are you gonna do about it? Someone just in the pond in your garden, just like drowning.
Well, it's that whole problem. It's that it's the NIMBYs, isn't it? It's that they'll all be pissed off if they all came into their backyards, I reckon.
Yeah. Did you hear about that Ukrainian woman who was taken in as a refugee and now she's run off with the guy?
Father of two, yeah. Father
she
of two
insists,
after 10 days.
Insists she's not a home wrecker. So I'm pretty sure English is your second language, but you can't redefine the word home wrecker.
I think the headline was like LIEV at first sight.
I guess the argument would be that he was already unhappy and she was saying that the home was already wrecked when she got there.
Yeah. Yeah. Those two kids will understand.
Biden wins, so this is how liberty dies. To thunderous applause.
Isn't it weird how like we're all like taking the mick out of Putin's health at the same time we've had like this guy who's basically Weekend at Bernie's the past year as president of the US, and like every time he said anything about him, everyone was like, nah, you can't say that. Yeah, that's well out of order. And there's just all this speculation about Putin's health all the time.
Hey man, what's your way? You know, well, I don't know. I have
those cockroaches on my legs.
I got her legs. Contrary to popular belief, George Lucas says Jedis are allowed to have sex. Jedi Knights aren't celibate. The thing that is forbidden is attachments and possessive relationships. Imagine being a Jedi, just finished clapping chicks. Shorty says, I love you before leaving. You turn around like, may the force be with you, cuz I won't.
Can there be facts in a fictional thing?
Fictional fact. I guess in terms of fiction, the fact is something that's consistent with that universe, or something that's a truth claim within the universe. I guess you can have facts. But yeah,
Seems
I
like
don't know if
name
it's a
Star
fact.
Wars facts.
Yeah, like George Lucas is an omnipotent being of that universe and a Jedi Master, like, and I'm sure that Jedi Knights aren't celibate. I mean, technically true, there are Jedi Knights who have kids as well, so. But I believe
Isn't that in all the canon that Disney just wiped out?
Oh my god, yeah.
The halflings. That WikiLeaks thing. Journalists stand in front of what is left of their workplace. Learn to code.
I love they're all 6 foot fat, like 6 foot and stacked. I am journalist.
Oh, that's the Israeli strike. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's in retaliation to the.
Yeah, because it was some. Well, Israel claimed it was some Hamas headquarters posing as a journalist. What do they call it? A place where journalists work? Newsroom?
Yeah, newsroom or something like that. Yeah, I guess so. Press office.
WikiLeaks.
What's going on that Indonesian teacher dresses up as a clown to teach children the Quran?
There are many clowns out there, but I teach and motivate children to recite the Quran. How are you supposed to take it seriously with that guy? I mean, how am I supposed to take killing the infidel every 3 lines? How am I supposed to take that seriously with that guy telling me?
Have you not seen the old Hamas children's shows where it's basically like a Mickey Mouse? What's his name? Mickey Mouse. And he's telling the kids to kill. It's well, let me send you this. Tomorrow's Pioneers / the Pioneers of Tomorrow, Palestinian children's television show. Oh, we got to watch a little bit actually. I remember it being so good.
Okay.
This will make you laugh actually. Oh, good. There's even a clip on YouTube. Amazing. Oh, I thought this would have been memory hold a long time ago. Far 4 is his name. Far 4. This is the final episode of The Pioneers of Tomorrow, circa 2007.
Okay, downloading now.
Oh, can you download it off YouTube?
Yeah, there's a website called y2mate.is, which you can download stuff, but why isn't it?
Nice. The comments are quite good as well. Good. People are still watching this. Still not got that many views, considering.
Can you see it?
Oh, this is... Yep. Oh, classic Memery TV as well. We should do Memory Hole. It's just Palestinian clips. Don't know if I can hear it. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I want you to safeguard it for 4. What is this trust I'm supposed to safeguard, Grandpa? This land which was occupied in 1948 is the land I inherited from my fathers and forefathers. I want you to protect it. It is a beautiful land, all covered in flowers and olive and palm trees. I want you to protect it, Fafa. What was this land called, Grandpa? This land is called Tel Al Arabi.
أما الجيت يا
But
خسارة
unfortunately, the Jews called
اليهود
it Tel
سموها تل
Aviv
أبيب
after they
بعد ما
occupied it.
احتلوها وأخذوها يا جدي. هذه الأمانة بتمنى تحافظ عليها يا فرفور.
Oh my God.
وهذا المفتاح بيكون معك لما ترجع البلاد. لما ترجع البلاد بتفتح فيه يا فرفور.
Take this key.
أنا يا فرفور. هذا يا جدي المفتاح.
This key.
هذا المفتاح. هذه كمان وراق تثبت كمان الأرض إلنا يا فرفور. هذه أمانة معك يا فرفور. اوعى تفرط بالأرض يا فرفور. اوعى تفرط بالأرض يا فرفور. يا جدي ما تخافش. أنا يا فرفور تعبان كتير. لا يا جدي. حاسس حالي بدي أموت. حاسس حالي إني قريب من أرض الربيع. بتمنى يا جدي إنك تحافظ عليها.
Is that him from Honey I Shrunk the Kids?
أنا يا جدي. أنا يا جدي.
Honey I Blew Up the Kids.
So sad.
Rick Moranis, that's it.
From the filth of the criminal plundering Jews.
Oh shit.
It is him.
Was that the end?
No.
بدك تجيبه يا ولد بدك تجيبه فرفور. جايبه لناس مجرمين. احنا انطال احنا ارهابية فرفور. خذ.
Oh my God.
جيب له اوراق لك فرفور.
نعم أحبابنا الأطفال.
Yes, my dear children, we have lost our dearest friend Farfo.
فرفور. لقد استشهد فرفور.
Farfur was martyred while defending his land, the land of his fathers and forefathers. He was martyred at the hand of the criminals, the murderers, the murderers of innocent children, who killed Iman Hijo, Muhammad al-Dara, and many others.
R.I.P.
Spicy.
So that was the last episode. When the infidels killed Mickey Mouse. So there are ways you could teach the Quran.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's a lot of that propaganda, isn't there? At least she doesn't have to cover her face. If it was Afghanistan, she'd have to.
Oh yeah, true. They all put on COVID masks in like solidarity, but I just feel like that's going to end badly for everyone.
Wolf Blitzer for the third day in a row. My local gas station empty. Wasn't he involved in Iraq?
One of Rudolph's bros. Wolf Blitzer.
And he's a CNN reporter.
That's a great name if you're in the war. Oh yeah, he is.
He's the host of The Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer, and until 2021 served as the network's lead political anchor.
What happened?
Is he a hawk? He seems quite hawkish.
Yeah, Blitzer sounds like a hawky name. Wolf Blitzer sounds like a hawky name.
Doesn't know why. Israel brings down Gaza tower block. Oh, it was an Associated Press of Al Jazeera. So yeah, basically Hamas.
Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera. My Biden voters posting their L's. I regret my vote. It was purely harm reduction, and this isn't that. I'm sick.
You are sick. Sick in the head. Once again, the eyes of a weary and battled nation look to Glasgow. Every Brit needs to drink 124 pints to save the nation's pubs after lockdown. Did that even work?
I don't know. You've been trying, haven't you?
I gave it a good stat. But I would just I would cheat those loyalty cards, so I wasn't even paying for half the pints I was drinking post lockdown.
Loyalty cards.
Yeah, the local pub would have like you get like a free pint every 8 pints.
Right.
I just had the stamp, so we just do it. And if they didn't do it, they would just do it anyway. So like, I don't think they do it anymore.
Stamp cards here are really stingy, man. Like for this coffee place I go to, which is like, it's quite expensive coffee compared to other places. It is good coffee though. I always get a wiener, which is basically an Americano with like a dollop of cream on top. But you have to have 16 coffees to get a free one.
Fucking hell. Do people drink a lot of coffee every day or something?
I mean, if I lived in the city, I probably would go there all the time. But generally, it's like 8, I think, is a good number. Like, you get your 8th coffee free because you had a coffee every day that week. That kind of baseline, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what's 16?
Yeah, I don't know.
2 a month. TRANSVAXXITE.
Yeah,
One who identifies as being vaccinated without actually being vaccinated.
It's a spectrum, and you're a bigot if you don't accept me as a transvaxite. And there is someone... Transvaxite. What does that say? Zoom enhance. It's basically the same definition. Oh, they're anti-lockdown protesters.
Dripping in freedom.
Israel just destroyed the Al Jazeera and Associated Press offices in Gaza. In case it wasn't already clear, the IDF behaves this way because they know they can get away with it. To be effective, the international response must go far beyond the usual hand-wringing.
Ben and Jerry's boycotting Israel, but not boycotting China with their slave camps. Sort of vibes.
It's the same thing now with like McDonald's like removing all their fucking golden arches from Russia as if it's some like big revolutionary act. Yet they still do business in Saudi Arabia, who are bombing the shit out of Yemen and also are arguably much less woke than Russia.
Much less woke, yeah. Also, I reckon Russians could probably handle making a burger. I reckon it's probably not there.
Yeah, imagine thinking like taking away like poison from your enemy is like a way to win.
Yeah.
They're paying you to poison themselves with your product, and you think it's a big statement to take that away from them.
Yeah, let's take all the Coca-Cola and all the obesity-causing foods from them and see what happens.
It's probably one of those things where the business just isn't doing well in Russia anyway, and they're using it as an excuse to look good. That tends to be what happens in these cases.
Mm-hmm.
This scene in downtown Toronto, Nathan Phillips Square, traffic is being blocked off and the streets are raucous with continuous honking as thousands show up to protest in show of solidarity with Palestinians.
So honking's okay then in Canada on those days? Not,
Oh yeah.
Not 9 months later.
Yeah. Guess we ain't social distancing anymore, eh?
Yeah, funny that.
The double standards.
Mm-hmm.
Footage on social media showed a convoy of cars. Convoy? They're not even a convoy. Is a convoy when they're side by side like that? Using a collective... You're hanging out with a man who uses a collective term for a single vehicle, Michael. Palestinian flags being driven in North London with passengers heard to shout offensive language and threats against Jews. Obviously wrong, almost as obviously wrong as what Israel's been doing to the Palestinians. Well, at least they're just throwing words out of their car, and not white phosphorus. Much prefer kids to have words land on them than the latter.
Why do people always go back on themselves within 2 words?
Obviously wrong, but here's my justification for why it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
People just don't want to stop at the actual answer. They want to
Mm.
Well,
Yeah,
it's-
that's exactly it. People love having the last word. So that Sean Connery clip where he maybe that's another funny clip actually, where he talks about giving women the last word, and then never accepting the last word, and so in those circumstances it's okay to hit a woman.
There's that Bill Burr joke as well, isn't there, where he's like, there's
He's fully not joking.
When people say, "Oh, there's no reason to hit a woman," he's like, "Nah, that's not true. That's not true." You never hear what happened just before she was hit. And I'm not saying he can hit a woman. Never hit a woman. But don't tell me there's no reason to hit a woman. Somehow neither the pro-Palestine nor the pro-Israel activists can ask why we care about their ethnic conflict without reminding us that they hate us too. Yeah.
Fuck's book cat.
Book cat.
Yeah. Oh.
Just saw a conservative on this site say property destruction is not violence in response to Israel destroying the AP offices in Gaza with an airstrike, and my brain instantly melted into a smooth glowing orb. What?
So I guess because what they always say, that they had been saying during the Floyd protests and all that.
Oh, that it
BLM
was
stuff.
that was violence.
That wasn't violence.
No. They were saying it was. The conservatives were.
But why is it in journalists posting that out?
Because I think that person is saying it isn't violence in this case. Well, they're both being hypocritical, but this journalist is... I guess this journalist is someone who was saying at the time that the protests, the George Floyd protests that caused destruction weren't violent.
No.
Who is this
That's
Jack Crosby guy?
Too many double negatives going on for me there.
Jack Crosby.
You can still... I just spotted the next one. I think I know what it's in reference to. Because I caught this story not that long ago. Somehow I completely missed it.
Which story?
Anorexia literally comes from the Greek meaning without appetite. That is quite evidently not this woman's problem. You can still become obese without eating. And it's the body positivity anorexia lady. Like the flagship, the HMS. Tess Holiday.
Oh, yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Doesn't she want to lose weight now? And people getting annoyed.
Oh, serious? People got annoyed at Adele, didn't they, when she lost weight? As if it was somehow a personal affront to them.
She was formerly known as Tess Munster.
No.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Nominative determinism right there.
So the latest episode, latest article on Tess Holiday is it's really struggling with her body image. It's been almost debilitating. She's working on repairing her relationship with her body after she was diagnosed with anorexia, but lately she's been struggling.
Doesn't sound very body positive of you.
How can you be anorexic when you're that huge?
And why can't you be body positive about that if also being obese is a good thing?
Oh, she was shocked to receive it at least, so she... On one day she can be trying new foods that she used to avoid, like Big Macs, while on other days she has trouble allowing herself to eat. She needs to go on that show where they like spy on you, because I think she's lying. She's in that show.
Yeah,
they go and spy on you, and then they fucking put everything that you've eaten that week on a table and go, "This is what you've done, you disgusting fat pig."
They stuff it in like a tube, don't they, or something?
This is what it looks like inside your body.
Tess Monster. She breaks down.
Hamas use tall buildings, so Grug bring tall building down.
Is that a North FC grog?
It looks like it, yeah.
Does look like a North FC guy.
Hamas has
That shit's gone downhill. Like, I don't know what happened to that page, but it used to be one of my favorites for some reason, and now it's just it's gone from like taking the piss out of non-Northerners to somehow sort of flipping around and just being taking the piss out of Northerners. Because I used to think it was taking the piss out of Remainers, basically,
right,
and their terrible image of like people up north who are still beating them at life. And then it's kind of flipped like this other sort of like just, I don't know, someone's died, I reckon. Someone died. it's not the same. Something changed.
Maybe it was like Remainers thought it was taking the piss out of like LIEV voters and Northerners, and enough of those people like didn't understand the irony that it was taking the piss out of their own prejudices, that then they had to just pander to their larger audience.
The lunatics took over the asylum.
Yeah. Hamas has turned residential areas in the Gaza Strip into military strongholds. It uses tall buildings in Gaza for multiple military purposes, such as intelligence gathering, planning attacks, command and control, and communications. That Biden refuses to condemn the international tag. Oh, should I try and do it in Edward Snowden voice?
What's he fucking sound like? I can't remember what he sounds like. He sounds like a proper nerd,
He just talks really slowly. Like, let me try. That Biden refuses to condemn the international targeting by Israel of press offices in Gaza is outrageous. But after the IDF replies, it was a tall building and Hamas uses tall buildings, to AP's president stating they've never seen so Hamas activity there in 15 years. It is monstrous. We need to tell the U.S. people about all the spying that's going on. And I'm still in Russia. Please help. My country hates me. I'm now in a country that my country is actively war against. But I will go on the Joe Rogan show and speak freely and uncriticized for 2 hours. And Joe Rogan will believe every word I say. Stop now.
Guess like, yeah, he jars me out. I don't know what it is about all these guys. Even Assange really jars me out. I don't think he should be in prison, but God, he seems like an arsehole. But Snowden just doesn't even seem that good. Just seems like he just stole some shit, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. Ro hates him. He thinks he's like... Don't know if he's changed his mind recently though, based on like what we've seen the cathedral to actually be. Maybe he's not so disheartened by the fact that he's trying to destroy that, which hates us. But I hate these people. Like, I'd rather you just destroy it, like, rather than like, oh, we need to reform. We need to put more checks and balances in place. Like, the checks and balances are the problem. The bureaucratic nonsense is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That's because it's this, people protect the systems that they hold so dear, to the point where, like, I just watched that staircase thing, and basically they didn't want to send this guy. They didn't want to grant this guy. I don't know, let him off basically. I can't remember what the word is. But
acquit.
It's because acquit him, yeah, sorry, that's it. And then they didn't want to acquit him basically. It was very obvious because they didn't sort of want to admit that their system had a massive flaw in it, and actually they're probably all fucked up. And it's a bit like, it's just burn it down.
Are you watching the documentary or the
documentary?
The show? Because there's a show, isn't there, with Colin Firth?
Yeah, that's confusing. I didn't actually know that was happening. And then,
yeah, I heard about that, and then I just wanted to watch that, and I went on Netflix to watch it, and then I ended up watching the first 10 minutes documentary, and then Nadine fell asleep. So, but I need to re-get on that.
It's pretty good. The Jewish lawyer as well. I love listening to him. He's just got that classic Jewish voice, but I don't think he's like very, very good. I think basically there's a massive flaw in the juries because people are idiots, and all he's saying is like really smart, good stuff, and all his logic is sound, but it's just not really based in reality. That actually most juries are just full of absolute retards. You can't trust people, Jez.
They voted for Nazis and like Coldplay.
And like Coldplay, yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard. Watching anti-Semitism and Islamophobia battle it out in the trending tab. Bad tweet, man. Yeah, that is a bad tweet. It's not that funny. You need the Michael Jackson popcorn meme.
No.
Let Bailey J host the SNL.
Who's Bailey J? A wife sucker's a great handle.
You don't know who Bailey J is?
No.
Trap. Like the OG trans porn star.
Why
Not
the
safe
fuck
for
would I
work.
know that? Not safe for work. Oh, and podcaster. Why didn't you start with podcaster?
Well,
Children's
SNL
TV presenter.
SNL doesn't have a SNL doesn't have a good track record with hiring podcasters, I guess. What happened to Shane Gillis?
Inside Amy Schumer. Oh god, she is a terrible. It's not looking good.
What's that?
I'm looking at her. What television she's been in and.
Or Bailey J?
Bailey J, yeah.
What television?
Yeah, she's been on the Inside Amy Schumer show. And I think that's all I need to know.
Do you think that's literal?
Is she a guy that's now a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the way it goes, isn't it? All right. What, is that even a question?
Well, no, there's the other way round in the Johnny Depp trial. Attila Wright.
Attila Wright?
Yeah, Amber Heard's like best friend at the time was called Attila Wright and is now a man.
Yes. I missed a few days. I'm so biased. I just watched the Johnny stuff at the beginning.
I mean, most of it's been quite boring until like yesterday, day before. Doc Brown takes a stand. So crazy.
Was he taking coke or something? Like, what was going on with him?
I don't know. I think he was just one of these fucking dickhead academics who thinks they know everything. Like, he was so argumentative. Like,
yeah, he was getting all sassy and weird.
have you seen Willy Wonka? Do I have to answer that question?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you have to answer the questions. And also, why that question is he like have a problem with answering?
I didn't really get what his point was. So like, he was basing all of his testimony on Johnny being cognitively dysfunctional because of his performance in films, but he'd only watched Pirates of the Caribbean. Was that it?
And interviews.
And interviews.
But that's not someone's like processing because you rehearse and stuff. Those. Anyway, we're getting a bit. That's for next year, I guess. We can do a whole.
Oh yeah, that's for next year.
We can do a whole trial episode a year later. See where things are.
But last year was the year of trials. There was the thingy.
Floyd.
There was Floyd.
Not Floyd, but the
Derek shoving your
Chauvin.
ass. There was
the Carl Rittenhouse.
Carl Rittenhouse. There was that lady who shot the. Was that this year?
That was this year. But
when was the Breviner one? It's been a lot of trials.
Yeah, that was the year before, wasn't it?
That might have been the year before. Yeah. Then we're gonna have the Russian war crimes coming up next year, I guess.
Breaking news. Microsoft directors started a probe into Bill Gates' alleged involvement with a female employee that was deemed inappropriate and decided that the billionaire had to step down from the board last year.
What did he do to her?
He just can't not put his prick in things where it's not wanted.
What do you think he's thinking in that photo? He's like, what? Why do my glasses taste like shit?
They're made from like recycled excrement.
Yeah.
We can make plastic from human shit.
He warned of the monkeypox, didn't he, and smallpox coming back or whatever.
I feel like he's warned about every single disease though. At this point, it's like he's just like scattershot, shooting a shotgun at a dartboard, and one of them is going to hit the bullseye.
It's true. I do always say to everyone every day that we're going to get nuked today, just in case. Told you.
Oh, here's another fucking guy who can't keep his prick in his pants. The Health Secretary defended his role in helping a former Tory minister try to secure a PPE deal. Perfectly reasonable for me to forward on PPE offer.
PPE is like a BDSM sort of thing.
Facebook won't let me use the word I want to describe him with. It rhymes with Jeremy Hunt. That was a pretty fire comment from me.
That was a pretty fire comment.
Yeah, I was back in the days where I was on Facebook a lot more.
And then they started putting you in the sin bin.
But he said in that interview, didn't he, recently, that he didn't do that.
What which thing? He denied quite a few things, I think. Which bit are you talking about?
This with the regards to this PPE offer. He said he didn't do that.
Oh, did he? Oh, I think there's sort of thing. There's a massive paper trail about it, isn't it? Why would you deny that now?
Fuck knows.
Jeremy Hunt said he would never have done lockdowns, and then he voted for every lockdown. Actually said we should. There's actually footage of him talking about how we should have locked down sooner and all sorts. And it's like people have memories, dude, and the internet. What a massive Matt Hancock.
Thanks, Eric. It was answered by a staffer who I think misunderstood the question. I believe that Palestinians should have a say in their future, but I do not believe that all refugees and descendants have all the right to return to Israel. Appreciate your calling it out.
Why doesn't he think? Why he doesn't think they could all go back? Why? Seems like an Israel thing to decide. I don't get this guy because he's well positive, but there's something rotten in Denmark about him.
Yeah,
it's not just because it's not just that he's Asian. Yeah, there's something a bit off about him. I really liked, who was the other independent but the other one that just got absolutely sidelined in the election, Tulsi Gabbard. I always thought she seemed pretty sound.
Yeah, she's sensible.
Yeah, those two seemed the most sensible, but at the same time, this guy was a bit too happy for not winning.
We should permanently normalise wearing a mask when you have a cold or the flu, in order to not infect other people. Japanese people do it. Why not us?
Well, if we all started doing what all the Japanese do, it'd be a lot more war crimes.
Have you considered throwing gays off buildings and issuing a permanent blood libel against Jews, as we see in Islamist-run nations? Just curious.
Yeah, imagine thinking because someone else does something that means I automatically should do it. I guess that is like a human thing to a point, but not when it's something so jarring as wearing a mask every day, every time you get a cold or flu.
Why can't we normalise, you get to stay home and still get paid if you have the cold or a flu?
Mm-hmm.
That seems more reasonable than having to put a fucking nappy on your face.
Or manning up. What happened to manning up?
You get them big tissues now, innit? Those man-sized tissues. Do they still sell man-sized tissues, or is that...
Yeah, they definitely do. I think I saw them recently. And it always makes me chuckle.
Analysis. When everything is a crisis, maybe some of them aren't.
Is that like an old Chinese saying or something? What is that?
About to check out Ringby's vibrant gay scene.
Is this where you started getting the gay vibes from?
I think it was the lip fillers. Maybe that was part of his undercover.
Where is Ringby? Is up north?
Ringby, let's have a look. Ringby.
Bum, bum.
The fuck is it?
Search Ringby gay
It
scene.
just keeps coming up with faucets. Oh, is it in Sweden?
Oh, maybe. It's not small, it's just cold.
The neighbourhood was part of the Million programme. It's known for its high concentration of immigrants and people with immigrant ancestry. Okay, now I see the angle. So he was being ironic.
Oh. Or he's actually into male migrants.
Maybe he just wants to get, R-worded in the R-word capital of Europe.
Grenade capital as well.
Tony Blair, back to your roots, Tony. Cut it out. No, leave it. I want to run my fingers through it. Woman. He looks so bad. He looks like a Gringot goblin now.
Imagine writing that.
Oh, that picture. Fucking. What did it say? Sorry, out of. Can't read it. Build Back Better, Joe Biden sticker. Can't even gas up. Oh, this is a good page. Nietzsche and Internet Defence Force. Against war, one might say that it makes the victor stupid and the vanquished malicious. In its favour, that in producing these two effects, it barbarises, and so makes the combatants more natural. For culture is asleep or a winter time, and man emerges from it stronger for good and for evil. Jarvis, target Israel. I love that meme. Did you see the video? You know, he got banned from the content clash.
Oh yeah, and like they were like hunting down people with his face on,
Yeah.
wearing people are so sad, aren't they? People, you sad, strange little man, as Buzz Lightyear would say.
So weird though, because like after the IDUBBZ thing came out, I was like, oh, IDUBBZ seems sound. He seems to have taken it well. And then, yeah, he's just a little bitch.
I do feel like Sam is just doing whatever he can to get to the top, though. So if he has to be a bit nice, he's going to be a bit nice for now.
He's getting closer to Joe Rogan, isn't he?
He's
he had
definitely
Shane,
getting
Shane
closer.
Gillis on, and
He's definitely getting closer. It's going to happen.
that would totally boost Joe Rogan's numbers, I think. Because it would just create such a storm in the media.
It would.
That it would just bring more eyeballs on it. Like, you imagine the headlines just like multiple school shooter, Sam Hyde, the ghost of Kiev appears on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
The world has reached a situation of vaccine apartheid. World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus change it on Monday and was no longer just at risk of that status. You'll say anything. Words don't mean a thing to you, do they?
He just got voted back in. I don't know who votes for him back in, but he's back in as the head of the WHO.
Horton here's a who. Demi Lovato identifies as non-binary and changes pronouns to they, them.
I reckon any of those they, themers can get in the bins. And
what's funny, right? I always used to use like they, them, like neutral pronouns if I didn't know the person's gender. If I'm referring to somebody. But then, which sounds natural, and people like go, "Oh, it should only be used for plural," but like in German, the word for you, she, and they is all the same. Conjugates slightly differently, and even like in Japanese, you drop them all together. You don't really say her, him. You don't. People can get by without having to create these new things. And even but when people use they and them, they don't use them in the same grammatical way as I would use them when I was referring to.
It exists. It did already exist as like a neutral term, but they've kind of they've made it no longer neutral, haven't they?
And it's jarring. It's like they say things like them. They use them for possessive, like them. Them had biscuits or something, which just sounds completely off. But if you say they had biscuits, I know you're talking about someone who is non-binary, gender neutral, or you don't know the gender of the person, or you're talking about several people. And it becomes clear from the context what you're talking about. But there's just something very jarring when you use the word like in a very ungrammatical way. But yeah, it was just, there was no need for this.
Do you reckon it's going to all get sorted out with people having earpieces that translate in real time so they don't get fucking triggered, and people having AR add-ons to their life where they can just sort of see what they want to see? Because it doesn't seem to be that anyone could ever get their head around such jarring nonsense, and I wouldn't expect anyone to. And I think that's why they can get in the bin, because they're just ruining stuff. And I don't mind if they ruin their own stuff, but
they're never content to ruin their own stuff.
Yeah,
no one wants to ruin their own stuff. They want to ruin other people's stuff.
It's true, actually. Yeah, it's very easy to ruin someone else's stuff.
It's like when I worked at Wetherspoons and I realised that like how you grow up and like your parents are always like, oh, if you're like, you should leave the table tidy, or you should tidy up after yourself after you've made dinner, or like you shouldn't, like leave stuff all over the table or whatever. But yeah, as soon as you get to an adult and you know that somebody else is going to clean it up, you'll make an absolute mess. You'll just leave the fucking little tomato ketchup wrappers everywhere. There'll be like tissues all over the place. Like there'll be like food like strewn absolutely everywhere. It's like, I'm not cleaning that shit. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I was in Bridlington the other week and had a few pints for they were like £2 each. It was so good. And then there was just a jippo with like a speedboat, and you could get in the speedboat for £5 and it would just drive around for a couple minutes. And I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. But I was like, wait, I'm an adult. I could just do that. I could just do that. So after 5 pints, just in the back of the speedboat. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to read this damn stupid advice?
Yeah, a guide to safe hugging. Before hugging, carefully clean the whole of your body with hand gel. Hug from behind to avoid sucking their infected mouth germs inside of yourself. I have missed you, Grandma. To be extra safe, why not just hug their legs? When the hugging is complete, wash each other with hand gel and say goodbye. Goodbye.
It was so funny that some of the lockdown skeptics actually thought this was genuine advice.
I was going to say, I reckon some people thought this was real.
Yeah. It's like, mate, look at it. Like, it's obviously not real.
We do live in a world where they have to put like warnings on bleach not to drink it though.
That picture of Elon Musk, man, it just gets me.
Someone tweeted that to him, didn't they?
It's so uncanny.
Looks a bit like what's his face? Christopher Hitchens.
Oh yeah, the eyes especially. Discover a marginalised group. Be consumed by your overwhelming need for attention. I am simply too cute to be cis. Appropriate their disorder for social gain. I'm just like you. What? Talk over them and their own issues. You don't need dysphoria to be trans. Become the vocal majority. Demonise anybody who speaks out against you. Hey, can you stop? Trans scum. Alright, what?
Yeah, trans scum.
Can't be. Truscum? What's Truscum?
True scum. You scum.
Make their community look like a joke. Prevent them from accessing the help they need. Destroy the social social perception. Don't tell me you're one of them. Problem.
Is this suggesting that these guys are acting so fucking retarded? It's just a ploy to take away the actual people who feel that way.
But what I don't realise is why aren't there more people within that community, like genuine people,
Who are
realising that this is going on? Like, because they're like, oh no, we have to believe everyone, it's their own personal thing. Well, what about people who are in there, who are doing it for this purpose? Like, you must have some way of distinguishing them. But
calling them out.
But you've got this ideology that's self-destructive in that it won't protect itself; it will only destroy.
Well, it's because people aren't allowed to tell anyone to fuck off anymore, aren't they? So when you're in your own safe space, and nothing bad can be said about anyone else, you're kind of stuck in letting people just slide over you. There's a whole even conspiracy theorists think that flat earthers is a conspiracy that the CIA made up to make all the other conspiracy theorists look dumb.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? Here.
Fascist, anti-Semite.
Death to Israel. Yeah.
I like America. UK total first doses, 69.9% of adults. That's not a total. Percentages aren't totals. Sky News. Hamas hub. Hundreds of Hamas militants enter her terror tunnels. If you have no mechanism for choosing, you're going to go to the people having fun. You're going to go to the people who have the energy. Yeah, it was when Michael Malice dressed up as the question mark or something.
Ah, is that what he's doing?
Yeah. Frank Luntz and Chelsea Clinton say they both cried getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, so did I.
And on the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine, side effects, crying like a bitch is listed as a common side effect. Where Palestine really is top right. Being gay will be 10 years in correctional institution. Democracy, but our leader was chosen by Allah. Blasphemy will not be tolerated in the state of Palestine, brother. Where Twitter thinks Palestine is, bottom left. We need peace and freedom in our homeland. We are a bastion of freedom in the Middle East. We just want to worship Allah in peace.
There is no worshipping Allah in peace.
Gary was shocked that his support wasn't welcome with open arms at the Free Palestine rally.
I hope this was like a red pilling moment for him. I bet it wasn't though.
No. He'll say internalized homophobia from his oppressors or some shit. If you're writing a piece defending yourself for being wrong for a year about the lab leak hypothesis by blaming everyone else except yourself for your own wrongness, you haven't learned a thing and you are just engaging in bullshit nasal gazing that literally nobody cares about. Hey guy, why is that one sentence?
Yeah, I know, that's jarring. And Josh Rogan is like a Joe Rogan ripoff. Oh my god, do I have monkeypox? The fuck is that?
Have you been
It's happened.
sucking fucking...
I've literally been inside for like a week and a half because I just work from home now and have no life.
I think I might save this for, for next week because
Yeah.
our fellow Memery holder really likes that clip. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, was that
for this week? Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We did an hour.
Oh, nice. We definitely need our third musketeer, don't we?
Yeah, he's very good at actually knowing stuff about the things.
Yeah, right. What are you doing today?
You let us know in the comments below. Do you want him to return or do you want him to stay in the Ukraine?
What will happen with my monkeypox? Stay tuned.